Do you remember who you were before the world told you who you had to be? In first or second grade in music class, we were forced to participate in a country square dancing competition. I was shy, I talked to few, and basically people had to go out and pick teams. And as fate would have it, the leftovers and myself were all standing around, and they looked to me as the leader. After about 5 or 10 minutes, the teacher, Miss Maxwell, went around to all of the teams and said, "What is your square dancing team going to be?" And, everybody was picking names like the Western Wranglers, the Country Kids, so on and so forth. And I just sat there and I thought to myself, and once again, this is first or second grade. This is the biggest batch of bullshit I've ever seen in my life, that we are going to be forced to be marched around like show ponies as the parents in the audience would everly take pictures with their Polaroid cameras. If it was the modern era, they all would have had their phones out like, I've made it, I've made it, I've made it, look at my little kids. And meanwhile, leading some miserable bullshit life at home. Well, all the team looked to me for some reason. I didn't quite understand it, but they saw me as a leader before I saw myself as a leader. And I said, all right, isn't this all BS, everybody? And they kind of laughed, I said, how's everybody feel like if we go against the grain and we are the rats? And we will wear black t-shirts and sunglasses. And when they announce us in the Wekiva Elementary auditorium, all the parents will be in the room, will be in shock. And they go, the rats? But I swear, I look back on all of it, and they were all just like teaching compliance and conformity and be a good little boy and girl and fall into the herd-like mentality. And even in first or second grade, I wanted to run as far away from the herd as possible. And why did I want to run as far away from the herd as possible? It's easy, because I've been to the zoo. As a little kid, I've been to the zoo, and I saw that the herd animals took shits on the ground, and they all stepped in each other's shit, and that's how herd behavior in humanity looks as well. And I don't curse for the sake of cursing. The S in shit stands for sadness. The H in shit stands for hurt. I stands for insecurity, and T stands for trauma. Correct me if I'm wrong. You've experienced that a million times. And for the vast remainder of my life, I was like, is there something wrong with me? And there's not. And I'm telling you this video because I want you to not be afraid to look at the world differently. Turn off the news. Turn off the social media, outside of my channel, please. Just turn it all off and restore how you see the world. And I've always okay, I'm this way, I accept it, I'm meant to be a leader, I'm meant to help the outcasts feel awake. It's obvious. In fact, I'm here to help everyone feel awake. What's this channel for? To help people feel awake. Stop chasing outcomes, build a process, become who God created you to be. And yesterday, I was driving home after running to the supermarket, and man, God just planted this vision in my head of that day. And I just laughed and laughed and laughed over it. And I was basically like, God, I'm comfortable with who I am. Is there any downside to it all? And he goes, yes, there is. When you don't lead with love and compassion and remember that most people are not awake, that could be a dark side. But as long as you lead with love and compassion, and you remember that the vast majority of my children are asleep in this world, even the ones that go to the place on Sunday, you're going to be good. He goes, I put you down here not as a provocateur, but as a reformer. I end this video by asking you, do you remember who you were before the world told you who you had to be? Because most people bought into the lie, go to college, get a 9-to-5 Monday through Friday that occupies 3/4 of your life. By the time you drive there, get ready to go there, do your chores, eat food, and sleep, be miserable, have just a small amount of fun time on a Saturday and Sunday before you're dreading the whole process starting again on Monday. I'm building a movement of people who no longer see that as a viable decision. And if that sounds like a channel you'd like to follow, give me a follow, and I'm gonna walk you right out of it. Have a great God day. Love to see your comments in the comments section, and we'll see you next time.